So, the first question is, how do we heal our ancestral trauma or curses?
There's a few different ways you can go about doing this. I'm going to give you the simplest way first, and then we'll get into more sophisticated ways. And this is something the channel will actually be doing a workshop training on. It is a very relevant topic, and it is actually a very important topic as you get closer to contact. Healing what we would describe as the ancestral traumas allows for many of you to be more rooted in the present moment, and it connects many of you with your autonomy in a greater way. When ancestral trauma is being carried, it's as if there's an ancestral script or behavioral pattern within the nervous system that is present and is overstimulated. And it sort of unconsciously directs the person, the descendant who inherited it. So ancestral trauma can cause a person's subconscious to be less focused on the signature frequency and more focused on what ancestors would do in that situation. And if that's a traumatic response, it might be something like a coping mechanism, and that could cause problems for the descendant. So ancestral trauma healing is very useful to help clear the cobwebs, so to say, so the signature frequency is much easier to maintain an awareness of. Remember, if you gaze into that fire that is your signature frequency at all times, you will remain consistently aligned with who you are, your natural timeline, your passion, your joy. You'll be at the right place at the right time with the right people, time and time and time again. That is the power of the signature frequency. So when there's less radio static, if you will, or background noise, it's easier to maintain that focus, that alignment. So that's the benefit of it. The simple technique is create an energy orb. Use your hands, clap them. You could even do it with us now if you like. Rub them together nice and warm. Feel a heat generating. Take your fingertips, tap them. You're awakening the vortex points on the fingertips. Scoop the energy in the air. Sense that you're making a ball. Awareness of your crown, awareness of your heart. Bring your tongue tip to the roof of the mouth. Take a big breath of light and air in. See your heart chakra glowing with gold like the sun. On your exhale, send the golden light from your heart chakra down your arms, out your hands. Make an orb. One. Again, nice breath in. Charge your heart chakra. Exhale. The golden orb between your hands gets brighter. Two. Third breath in, charge your heart chakra with golden light. Exhale, send the energy down the arms, out the hands, into the golden orb between your hands. From here, open the heart and feel your love. Feel your compassion flowing from your heart chakra, down your arms, out your hands, into the orb. Tons of love. You can even form a little smile on the face. You can think of someone or something that reminds you of love, but start to put this love into the orb. This is very important. Feel that connection from your heart to the orb. And now, imagine that you are looking at a timeline within this orb, but see that the timeline is made of DNA. In the center of the timeline, representing the present moment, see you standing. And see that one direction on the timeline represents past, the other represents future, and see that there are people standing next to you, like a big chain of people that goes infinitely to the left, infinitely to the right. You are standing together on a timeline of DNA. You don't need to necessarily know what the ancestors look like, but sense that you're connecting to them. See at least 7 ancestors and 7 descendants on this timeline. You're in the center. Hold the image. Feel the love, feel the connection. And speak into this picture. Dear ancestors, dear descendants, members of my DNA lineage, I thank you for blessing me with the gifts, the skills, the love, and the wisdom. I thank you for supporting me and for the wonderful, loving relationship that we share. I send this golden orb of light to you, O ancestor spirits. May this golden light nourish you and bring healing and restoration to our timelines. May blessings of love, peace, and enjoyment flow throughout your world. Thank you for blessing the present moment. Thank you for blessing the descendants. And thank you for the enlightenment, the enjoyment, the restoration, and the source connection. Now and forever. Amen. And take the orb, and from here, you can send it into a few different areas. If you send it down, if you push the orb down into the earth, it will go into the underworld, into the inner earth, and it will go directly to your ancestors. You can also take the orb and lift it over your head and send it behind you. This also represents past. However, the inner earth ancestry, this is much more ancient. The ancestral realms accessed posteriorly to the body. This is more of your recent ancestry. So you can take this orb and send it down into the inner earth. See that there is a big sun in the inner earth. Send the orb down into the inner earth sun. And when it makes contact with the inner earth sun, see that there's a pulse of light. And return your mind back to the surface, back to your body. So this is an exercise that you can actually do daily. You could do this for something like 40 days. Just make the orb, see the symbol, put in the prayer, and send it down. That exercise for 40 days will create tremendous healing effects within your own life, and it will also allow for your connection to the ancestral spirit realm to be unlocked. And that is a treasure trove of wisdom, connection, love, guidance. It's sort of like a gathering place for the higher self of all of your ancestors. So it's the best of the best of what the ancestors have to offer. So this type of exercise will strengthen that link and connection. For those of you that followed the exercise just now, you may already feel a very powerful shift because we all collectively did it together. So this is the benefit of group healing, and we will be exploring this and more in the healing trainings that are upcoming as we move into your year of 2026. In terms of more sophisticated ways, there's all types of things you can do. You can bury objects that have been charged with energies and prayers and blessings. And the idea is to bury this programmed object near a tree of power or a plant of power. This would be a sacred tree or a sacred plant, or to bury the crystal in a sacred power spot on the planet. And this will allow for these natural energies of the beautiful plants, of the power center, to then work with the object to direct restorative and healing energies to the ancestral realm and world. So if you wanted to do something like that, it would be the same exact thing we just mentioned, make the energy orb, but instead of sending the energy orb down, push the energy orb into whatever the offering is. And then this is an offering you would bury in one of the locations that we mentioned. And now the ancestors are going to be receiving a constant influx of healing energy from whatever that power source is, the blessing, the prayer you have put in. This will also be amplified by that power source. So that's a more sophisticated way you can go about it. If you do this on certain celestial dates, it's going to be stronger. So think of your winter solstice. This is a very powerful time. It is a time of transition. This is when that ancestral gateway is open.
All right, thank you.
You're so welcome.